I know this is going to sound absurd to say. This is a tough roster to improve. We've not played well. We've underperformed our talent level, but finding, upgrades from a player perspective in any of these positions leads you back to the best player is probably the one we have.
Back here on the Ultimate Seattle Sports Show, 13-year Major League veteran Bill Krueger is here to talk Mariners. And Bill, we just heard Jerry Dipoto right there. After the trade deadline, Dipoto talked about how this team just needed the players on the roster to start playing to their potential. And looking back, Bill, did the Mariners need to make more moves?
Well, I would think they should have tried a little harder in the bullpen. Dominguez was really the result of dumping Luis Castillo's contract. Luke Weaver was on the market. I think that would have been a good chase because they need another guy without having Matt Brash for this stretch of period. They needed another reliever in the bullpen. That's become pretty obvious. And third base would have been a nice place to put a right-hand hitter, but they probably couldn't find one. And certainly want Brendan Donovan to start getting reps and playing better. So there's some truth to it to a degree, but you always want to try to add to a team that you have playoff aspirations with.
Bill, I know a lot of people, at least a lot of people on social media last night, they want to blame manager Dan Wilson, Michael Rucker for that Game 1 loss to the Yankees. But, Bill, you got to hit the ball to win. The Mariners have scored a total of 5 runs in their last 5 games. 5 runs in the last 5 games. There were their offensive struggles last night against the Yankees. 1 run, home run by Randy Arozarena. 3 hits. They had 30 at-bats, just 3 walks, 8 strikeouts, 5 runners left on base. I mean, do you see anything that they're not doing here, that we're not seeing as just normal fans? I mean, you played in the majors. What's happening here with the bats?
Well, I think you're gonna have stretches where you're hot, and you're gonna have stretches where you're not swinging the bat well. You hope that they kind of mix around the lineup, so not everybody's cold at the same time. But I think what they don't do, we were watching other clubs do. We watched, Detroit was really swinging the bat well, but Tampa, boy, they scrap, right? Mm-hmm. They have a 2-strike approach. They slash the ball the other way. They stay. They get jammed. They put balls in play. We watched the Yankees, even in the late innings where the left-hand hitters came up. They hit the ball the other way, got a couple more runs in. You have to fight with 2 strikes. I don't see a change in their approach to be a little shorter, a little late to the ball, let the fastball travel on you, protect the outside of the part of the plate. I think collectively they've got to try to do that a little bit more to put more balls in play, put some more pressure, get some things going. That doesn't mean that you're not taking advantage of your great strengths where the slugging isn't going to be what helps you win, but I think they need a little bit more of that 2-strike approach.
Well, I think we did see that with the Yankees. I mean, they're 8-9 hitters coming through just slapping the ball the other way.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a shame they didn't get any offense last night because Bryan Woo looked great at Yankee Stadium, by far his best road start of the season. Do you see anything different from Woo?
Well, after the struggles he had early in the game where he threw a ton of pitches, I think he started to understand, I can pitch the ball down and away and have success. And I need to make sure when I throw my breaking ball, particularly to all those left-hand hitters, that I get that thing down below the zone. He threw a couple. Garcia hit one in the corner on that kind of hanging curveball. This is a park that really punishes you if you make mistakes on the inner part of the plate with off-speed pitches. So he figured it out. He started pitching down and away, more sinking style fastball, and then he started to pile up the outs. He had 8 in a row to end his outing. I think the unfortunate thing, and this goes back to maybe my old school way of thinking, but here you are knowing that you don't have Gabe Spire, you're short a guy, and yet you can't push him. Weathers pitches the 6th inning, ends up throwing 106 pitches. Our staff has been resting the whole year. Bryan Woo is at the peak of his ability. This is the time to push him a little bit when you're not fully complemented in the bullpen. And he's retired 8 in a row, and if he feels good, shoot, run him back out there. Let's see how many outs he can eat up so that we don't have as many outs to cover to get to Munoz. To me, that was the real part of the game that really hurt. You're left with what you have in the bullpen guys. He didn't have Gabe Spire, and that was really the crowning blow.
Well, and that leads us to the next question. That's why he's the pro, Paul, that he just segues beautiful. And this is tough for me, Bill, because I love when the local kids do well, and I'm their biggest fan. But across the Pacific Northwest last night, you could hear it, Paul. Puyallup to Paulsbo, Bellingham to Bremerton, Camas to Colfax. Why is Michael Rucker going in the game? Bill?
Well, he went in the game because...
Hang on a second, Bill. That's not how Chris calmly asked that question about an hour ago. He was in a rage about Michael Rucker getting into this game. Why don't you ask it the way you really want to ask it? Here's Johnny Waxon over there about the Pacific Northwest. Let's go. Ask him now how you.
Why was he in the game, Bill? Why was he in the game? I love him, but why was he in there, Bill?
It is.
Help me! I'm going in my chair, Bill. I'm going back. Help me out, Bill. Get me through this season. Give me the playoffs, Bill.
Take some deep breaths. Find your mantra.
My heart, Bill. Can't handle it.
I think it's hard. It's really frustrating. Gabe Spire had a bad back. So you were hamstrung with only one left-hander, and really you needed to back the pitching of Ferrer up with Spire again before you went to Bizzardo, choosing to go against Ramos or against Lombard, because they only have two right-handed hitters in the lineup. When you play at Yankee Stadium, yeah, they got a bevy of left-hand hitters. You pitch away from the short part of the park. You got to pitch to the big part of the park. You can take the slug away from left-handers. That's why left-handed pitching is so important. It's confounding to me. I understand guys get hurt in a variety of ways, but Spire hadn't pitched since the 5th of August. That's 6 days, and yet he can't post. It's really odd to me. I'm not questioning the fact that his back was hurt, but truly unfortunate that he wasn't able to play in yesterday's game and pitch in yesterday's game. Rucker was a choice between Dominguez and Rucker. That was your choice. And after watching Dominguez get to struggle with his control and having that first outing where he gave up 4 runs, Rucker was the safer choice. But a really tough position. Rucker's pitched okay when the game is out of hand. When he's been in leverage situations, he's not pitched well. He's not good enough to pitch in these high leverage situations. He's just not the guy. They have 3 guys that can handle that. And then get to Munoz, and one of them was gone. They're short, no Brash. They had to replace him. I just talked about that. They needed to go to the market and get another one, not just the dump that Castillo got you a guy they traded contracts and got Dominguez. Not saying he can't pitch, but that's not enough talent there when you play the game to the bullpen. That's how baseball is played.
Question in the classroom. I got my hand up.
You don't have to
I got my
raise your
hand up. I don't have to thank you, Paul. Okay, so they know that Spire can't go.
Right.
Can Woo go one more inning?
Woo can go one more inning. That's a choice where you could carry him a little bit further. Like I said, he retired 8 in a row. He's pitching well. Why not run him back out there? He's got it going on. The other choice is to throw Ferrer another inning. He's only thrown 16 pitches. And he's not, I mean, he's been used a lot, but not in consecutive days.
Not as much as Bizzardo.
So I think you have to sort of say to yourself, these games, we're playing at the edge, and we have to start winning, and we have a position to have the lead right now. I think you have to push Ferrer and hope Spire can pitch the next day. I mean, that's my thought. The only other thought I would have is that I would even have run Simpson out there because I'd rather just have a left-handed pitcher out there than any of those second-tier right-handers.
I'm booking a airline ticket for Bill to get to New York right now.
Why don't you book yourself a spa appointment, too? Get yourself relaxed a little bit. Wow. Man, I'll tell you what. I mean, Warren Moon was on this show. He's talking about the old school thing about 2-a-days and how things were different. You pitched 10 innings once with the Mariners, so it's like, I know what you're getting to. You know, it's like 6 innings. Why can't they go at least 7 or 8?
And he was dealing. I mean, I think he had retired 8 straight. That was my question. And the next thing you know, he's handing Randy Arozarena the trident, and I'm like, he's coming out. He's handing him the trident. And then I'm like,
Yeah, I know. I think we're all a little bit old school. We'd like to see them go maybe into the 7th as a regular thing instead of just the 6th. All right.